Thanks to its strict adherence to the monarchy and its penchant for secrecy, the British royal family has managed to preserve British history and culture for decades. But now it seems there has been a twist that could shake the foundations of the monarchy forever. In a shocking move, King Charles III has defied his wife, Queen Camilla, and appointed Princess Anne as queen consort. His reasons, and what it means for the royal family, have shocked many. How does this announcement affect things? Join us as we explore the problems and turmoil within the royal family in this video. Early life of Princess Anne. Before we get into the specifics, let's take a moment to reflect on Princess Anne's journey up to this point in her time in the royal family. The birth of Princess Anne took place at Clarence House on the 15th of August 1950 at 11:05 a.m. British summertime. This occurred under the reign of her grandpa, King George VI. As the only daughter of Princess Elizabeth, who later became Queen Elizabeth II of England, and her husband, Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, she is the second child to be born into the royal family. She is also the only girl child. Immediately after her birth, a 2-1 gun salute was fired in Hyde Park Toot to the royal family. Cyril Garbett, the Archbishop of York, performed Anne's baptism on the 21st of October 1950, a day that took place in the music room at Buckingham Palace. Her mother and her older brother Charles, who is now the King of the United Kingdom, were the first two people in the line of succession to the British throne. She was born third in the line of succession. Following the passing of her grandpa in 1952 and the subsequent ascension of her mother to the kingdom, Anne slipped 2 positions to the current position of 17th in the rankings. Catherine Peebles, who was working as a governess, was tasked with the responsibility of caring for Anne, along with her brothers Charles, Andrew, and Edward, during her formative years. During the time when they were still residing in Buckingham Palace, Peebles was providing Anne with formal education through tutoring. Anne did not have the opportunity to attend the coronation of her mother in June of 1953 Beauce. She was still a little child at the time. Anne was given the opportunity to interact with other young women her age by means of a Girl Guides organization that was re-established in May of the year 1959. This organization, which was known as the First Buckingham Palace Organization, was responsible for incorporating the Holy Trinity Brompton Brownie Pack and provided her with the opportunity to interact with others of her generation in a casual setting. It shut down in 1963, the same year that Anne started attending boarding school. Benenden School was where Anne began her formal schooling in the year 1963. In 1968, she graduated from the school with a total of 6 credits at the GCEO level and 2 credits at the A level. In 1969, when Anne was just 18 years old, she began participating in royal engagements after she had finished her elementary and secondary schooling. Also, there was a brief connection between Anne and Richard Meade, who competed in the Olympics as an equestrian. She is demonstrating her links to the world of sports, as well as her passion for equestrianism. The question is, how did she go about pursuing her love of soccer? The fact that King Charles III has appointed her to the position of queen is a royal bombshell as well. Continue to watch as we are going to expose every detail. Princess Anne's interest in equestrianism through her performance at the Russell Horse Trials, which took place in the spring of 1971, Princess Anne demonstrated her excellence as a rider. When she was 21 years old, she won a solitary victory at the European Eventing Championship while riding her homebred horse, Dublin. This victory was the first time she had ever won a European championship. In addition, she was awarded the title of BBC Sports Personality of the Year the following year, which is more evidence of her increasing prominence in the realm of sports. Anne, on the other hand, was not only a skilled event rider, but she also put her skills to the test in the world of horse racing. For instance, she competed in the Grand Military Steeplechase at Sandown Park and the Diamond Stakes at Ascot. She was a part of the British eventing team for the subsequent 5 years, during which time she also earned a silver medal at the European Eventing Championship in 1975, when she competed in both the individual and team concourses. At the Olympic Games that were held in Montreal the following year, in 1976, Anne competed as a representative of the United Kingdom. In addition, she competed in the eventing competition for the Queen on the horse that belonged to the Queen and was named Goodwill. A fall that happened during the event occurred around halfway through the course, resulting in her suffering a concussion. In spite of the injuries, she remounted in order to continue jumping. Nevertheless, when she was questioned about the remaining jumps, she said that she could not remember anything because of the consequences of the concussion. Unfortunately, the British team was unable to finish the competition because two of its horses sustained injuries. The badminton horse trials were a highlight for Anne during her equestrian career when she achieved remarkable success. She achieved a fourth-place ranking in 1974 and a sixth-place ranking in 1979. The fact that she was able to complete this flawless picture of the presentation 50 times between the years 1971 and 1979 is evidence of her enthusiasm and talent. During the year 1985, she participated in a charity horse race in the Epsom Derby, where she finished fourth, further demonstrating her extraordinary abilities in equestrian pursuits. Anne served as the president of the Fédération Équestre Internationale from 1986 to 1994. During that time, she was also responsible for assisting in the dissemination and standardization of equestrian sport all over the world. On the 5th of February, 1987, she made history by being the first member of the royal family to participate in a television quiz show, the BBC's A Question of Sport, which was a panel game. Since 1971, she has been a supporter of the Riding for the Disabled Association, and since 1985, she has served as the president of the organization. This demonstrates both her dedication to the organization and the primary goal of providing equestrian therapy to persons with disabilities. Later, in June of 2024, Anne was sent to Southmead Hospital with minor injuries and a concussion. The doctor assumed that she had struck a horse's legs or head, and she was admitted to the hospital with these injuries. To what extent has Princess Anne been exposed to further dangers, and how has she demonstrated her resilience once more? Be sure to stay tuned as we proceed. Scary moments for Princess Anne. A frightening incident occurred on the 20th of March 1974, when Princess Anne and her husband, Mark Phillips, were returning to Buckingham Palace after attending a charity event. The royal couple had just returned from the event. Their royal car, a Princess 4, was stopped by a Ford escort car in the mall, and the driver of the escort car, Ian Ball, jumped out of the car and protected them. Immediately, Inspector James Beaton, who was Anne's security officer, jumped out of the car to protect her. In addition, Alex Callender, the princess's driver, was reprimanded for trying to intervene in the situation. Brian McConnell, a journalist for a neighboring tabloid newspaper, witnessed what was going on and tried to assist. However, he was injured in the chest while trying to contribute to the situation. Ian Ball then approached the car and announced his intention to arrest Princess Anne. At this point, she considered hitting him, but ultimately decided to remain calm. In a subsequent interview in 1983 on the Parkinson television program, she detailed how she tried to be extremely polite to Ball as she believed that further angering him would be against her best interests. Anne's maid, Rowena Brassey, accompanied Anne as she exited the car to the other side. Anne eventually managed to escape from the car. At the same time, a passerby named Ron Russell, who had previously competed in boxing, rushed to her aid and assisted in getting Anne out of the dangerous area in an orderly manner. Only a short time later, police officer Michael Hills arrived at the same location and attempted to assist. Despite this, he mobilized his police force, which was vital at the time. Peter Edmonds, a police detective, responded to the call, pursued Ball further, and eventually succeeded in arresting him. In the immediate aftermath of the incident, Inspector Beaton, who was Anne's sole bodyguard at the time, launched an investigation into the security measures that had been overlooked. There were no spare vehicles and no rehearsals as they had not anticipated anything happening. The Royal Protective Operational Security procedures were thoroughly reviewed and revised in the wake of this unfortunate incident. These included the abandonment of the Walther PPK and the protection and escort of the individual by a large number of security guards. Hills, Beaton, Callender, and McConnell were not only given medical attention and taken to hospital, but were later discharged. The Queen awarded the George Cross to Inspector Beaton, who was in Indonesia at the time of the incident in connection with the protection of Princess Anne. In recognition of their bravery, Constables Hills and Ron Russell, as well as Callender, McConnell, and Edmonds, were awarded the George Cross. However, the Queen's Gallantry Cross was awarded to them. To express her gratitude to Beaton for his prompt action, Princess Anne visited him in hospital. After the proceedings concluded, Ian Ball pleaded guilty to the charges. Diagnosed with schizophrenia, he remains in custody at Broadmoor Hospital under the Mental Health Act until March 2024. The question we are most interested in is how effective a role Princess Anne played in the royal family. Well, let's find out. Princess Anne's royal duties. As an example of a royal who is now working, Princess Anne is actively involved in a wide variety of activities and ceremonies that are performed in the name of the monarch. In 2014, Kevin S. MacLeod, the secretary to the Queen of Canada, stated that Anne puts work ethics into effect by telling her, "It is to keep me busy. I'm here to work, and I'm here to do good things." This statement was made in 2014. According to what he stated, "I am here to meet as many individuals as I possibly can." Clearly, she is devoted to her tasks, as seen by the fact that she is dedicated to her royal obligations. It was revealed in December 2017 that Princess Anne had more engagements than any other royal during that year, including her mother, the Queen. This was something that was not previously known. During the time that she was in office, Princess Anne made it a point to go abroad for the United Kingdom, making as many as one trip abroad every 3 months to represent the country. Her first public appearance occurred in 1969 when she formally launched an educational and training facility in Shropshire. This was technically her first public engagement. Shortly after she completed her secondary education and joined her parents on a state trip to Austria, she took the first steps toward her involvement in international activities. She arrived in Australia for the first time in 1970, and since then, she has made many additional trips for official engagements, including the one she is currently carrying out in her capacity as Colonel-in-Chief of an Australian regiment. Princess Anne made history in 1990 when she became the first member of the royal family to go to the Soviet Union on official business. She received a warm welcome from President Mikhail Gorbachev and his administration during her trip to the Soviet Union. One of the most important moments in royal diplomacy occurred during this visit, which took place during a time when political landscapes were shifting. During her most recent trip to Russia, which took place in August 2016, Princess Anne paid a visit to the city of Arkhangelsk to mark the 75th anniversary of Operation Dervish, which was one of the initial Arctic convoys during World War II. On the other hand, she was diagnosed with an ailment in September of that year, which caused her to cancel a few of her formal engagements. After that, in the latter part of October 2016, she went on a study excursion that lasted for 2 days in the state of Sarawak in Malaysia. During April 2022, the princess, accompanied by her husband, embarked on a tour to Australia and Papua New Guinea to commemorate the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. This trip served to highlight the princess's unwavering commitment to her royal responsibilities and her role as an international representative. It was on the 12th of September, 2022, at St. Time Giles's Cathedral in Edinburgh that she became the first woman to participate in the Vigil of the Princes. She was standing watch over the coffin of her mother, which was a momentous day in her life. On the 16th of September, this sad task was performed once more at Westminster Hall. She was also one of the witnesses to her mother's dying at Balmoral, and she was responsible for signing the death certificate alongside the attending physician. This information was divulged at a later time. Princess Anne is committed to the monarchy because of the extraordinary amount of time she devotes to performing her royal duties, both at home and abroad. What are how the princess has been able to influence the world around her? Maintain your attention to discover out. Princess Anne's commitment to charity and patronage. Only Princess Anne is the patron or president of more than 200 charitable organizations. The fact that she has been associated with Save the Children for such a long time is a particularly noteworthy example of her dedication to philanthropic work. Between the years 1970 and 2017, she was the president of the organization. After that, she became a supporter of the organization. Princess Anne has made several trips throughout her life to various countries, such as Bangladesh, Sierra Leone, South Africa, Mozambique, Ethiopia, and Bosnia and Herzegovina, to get first-hand experience of the various programs and initiatives that Save the Children has undertaken. Because of her unwavering dedication to this cause, Kenneth Kaunda, the president of Zambia, put her up for consideration for the Nobel Peace Prize in the year 1990. Additionally, In 1991, she established the Princess Royal Trust for Carers, which is another evidence of her commitment to the individuals who provide care for others. Her unwavering dedication to St. Murphys John Ambulance, for which she serves as the Commandant-in-Chief of St. John Ambulance Cadets and attends the Grand Prior Award Banquet, is another factor that has had a significant impact on the lives of a vast number of young people. Moreover, she is the patron of the St. Andrew's First Aid Organization. In the year 2021, Princess Anne became the patron of Mercy Ships, an international charity that runs the biggest non-governmental hospital ships in the world and offers medical treatment to the poorest of the poor. Mercy Ships is a charitable organization that operates the ships. Not only does Princess Anne work for humanitarian organizations, but she also serves as an administrator for the United Kingdom in the International Olympic Committee. In addition to that, she is the president of the British Olympic Association, and she was the figure that represented Great Britain at the Winter Olympics held in Sochi, Russia in 2014. Since 1985, she has served as the president of the Writing for the Disabled Association, and she has also been the organization's patron for 14 years. In addition, she has maintained connections with student sports because of her role as the patron of sports at British universities and colleges. It was in 1981 when the Queen Mother decided to retire, and Anne was subsequently chosen to the position of Chancellor of the University of London, which she has maintained ever since. In 2007, the Queen made the decision to elevate Princess Anne to the position of Grand Master of the Royal Victorian Order, a position that had been previously held by her grandmother. A Royal Fellow of both the Academy of Medical Sciences and the Royal Society, she is also a member of both organizations. There are only a few members of the royal family who are eligible to become Royal Fellows. These individuals are selected based on their contributions to society. Prince Anne is one of only 4 Royal Fellows, along with King Charles, Prince William, and Edward, Duke of Kent, as of the year 2022. Another Royal Fellow is Prince Charles. She holds the distinction of being the oldest Royal Fellow in the Academy of Medical Sciences. Taking over for her father, who had served as Chancellor of the University of Edinburgh until 2010, she took up the position on the 31st of March, 2011, making her the new Chancellor. Additionally, she followed in her father's footsteps by accepting some prominent roles in the same year. These positions included President of the City and Guilds of London Institute, Master of the Corporation of Trinity House, and President of the Royal Society of Arts. Additionally, Princess Anne has held the position of President of the Commonwealth Study Conference, which is a program that was initially established by her father. In the year 2023, she took over as President of the Commonwealth War Graves Commission, succeeding the Duke of Kent in that role. Not only does Princess Anne engage in a significant amount of charitable work, but she also serves as the patron of TransAid, a non-profit organization that was established by Save the Children and the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport. The mission of this organization is to enhance the safety and sustainability of transportation in developing nations. In addition to this, she is a supporter of WISE, which is an organization that works to inspire young women to pursue jobs in the fields of science, engineering, and construction. In the year 2022, she was given the position of Honorary Chair of the Illuminating Future Generations campaign at the National Lighthouse Museum. The campaign's objective is to gather funds to extend the exhibition space at the museum. In addition, Princess Anne is the patron of several professional organizations, such as the Royal College of Occupational Therapists, the Royal College of Midwives, and the Royal College of Pediatric Emergency Medicine. In addition, she is an advocate for the Royal Edinburgh Military Tattoo, the Scottish Rugby Union, the town's women's guilds, the Acid Survivors Trust International, and citizens' advice programs. In spite of the fact that she wears a regal appearance, what has the princess's private life been like? Maintain your attention to discover out Princess Anne's love life and highly publicized divorce. During a meeting for people who were interested in horses in 1968, Anne was introduced to Mark Phillips, who was a lieutenant in the 1st Queen's Dragoon Guards. It was on the 29th of May, 1973, that they announced that they were going to get married. On the 14th of November, 1973, they tied the knot in a ceremony that was broadcast on television at Westminster Abbey, which was seen by an estimated 100 million people. In the aftermath of their wedding, the pair relocated to Gatcombe Park, which is the residence of their family. Phillips was presented with the opportunity to become an earl, but he refused the offer. This is normal practice for men who do not own titles but marry into the royal family. Their children were born without titles as a direct consequence of this. Peter Phillips, who was born in 1977, and Zara Phillips, who was born in 1981, were the two children that Anne and Mark had together. Additionally, they have 5 grandkids. On the other hand, Anne and Mark made the announcement that they had decided to end their relationship on the 31st of August, 1989. They cited the fact that they had made few public appearances together and that both of them had been associated romantically with other people. In the beginning, they said that they had no intention of getting a divorce and that they shared custody of their children. However, on the 13th of April, 1992, the palace acknowledged that Anne had filed for divorce, and the divorce was formalized just 10 days later. Anne had a chance encounter with Timothy Lawrence, a captain assigned to the yacht Britannia, in the early months of 1989. After Lawrence was assigned as an equerry to the Queen 3 years earlier, their friendship began to flourish and flourish there. When the Sun newspaper disclosed the existence of private letters that the couple had communicated with one another, the couple's relationship became officially known to the public. Crathie Kirk, which is situated close to Balmoral Castle in Scotland, was the location of the secret wedding ceremony that took place on the 12th of December 1992 between Anne and Timothy. There were perhaps 30 guests present at the wedding, which was a small and personal event. Now, tell me about her titles and her position in the royal family. We would find out in a short while. Regarding the honors, titles, and position in the royal household of Princess Anne, several prestigious honors and titles have been bestowed on Princess Anne, which are a reflection of her rank and the services she has made to the royal family and the public service. As a member of the Noble Order of the Garter, which is considered to be one of the most prestigious chivalric orders in the United Kingdom, she has the title of Royal Knight Companion. In addition, she is a member of the most ancient and most noble organization of the Thistle, which is another prominent organization linked with Scotland. She is also known as an extra knight of this order. Princess Anne, in her role as Grand Master of the Royal Victorian Order, is in charge of supervising this order, which grants recognition to those who have distinguished themselves in their service to the monarchy. She has also been honored with the title of Dame Grand Cross of the Most Venerable Order of the Hospital of St. John of Jerusalem, which is a recognition of the contributions she has made to the endeavors of humanitarian organizations. In addition, she is a recipient of the Royal Family Order of Queen Elizabeth II, which is a particular honor that is bestowed upon members of the royal family. Additionally, she works as a personal aide-de-camp to the sovereign, which entails assisting the reigning monarch in a variety of ceremonial responsibilities. Princess Anne is the 8th person to be given the title of Princess Royal, which is a distinction that is reserved for the oldest daughter of the monarch who is now in power. The former bearer of this title was Princess Mary, Countess of Harewood, who was the daughter of King George V, and thus Anne's great-aunt. This title has a long and illustrious history. Not only does the title of Princess Royal signify her heritage, but it also acknowledges the significant position she plays within the royal family and her dedication to serving the public's interests. Has Princess Anne always had the desire to rule as queen? What is the reason for her opposition to Camilla? Be sure to stay tuned as we proceed. Princess Anne never wanted Camilla as queen. Princess Anne, the only daughter of Queen Elizabeth II and the younger sister of King Charles III, had some misgivings about Camilla and her potential place as queen. In her book Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, survivor of the royal family, royal author Angela Levin claims that Anne and Camilla did not get along at the beginning of their relationship. Anne kept her distance from Camilla for quite a while, despite her reputation for being straightforward and serious. Because of this behavior, Camilla found it difficult to negotiate Anne's cold and distant demeanor, leading to tense and uncomfortable exchanges between them. Camilla found Anne's behavior difficult to handle. An uneasy feeling arose due to their strained relationship, which shed light on the difficulties they were experiencing. Anne's pessimism about Camilla's place in the royal family did not only encompass their differences, there were deeper reasons for her skepticism. A dressmaker who worked with Princess Diana has revealed that Anne had raised concerns about Camilla's role, suggesting she was upset by the possibility that Camilla would not be recognized as the legitimate queen. A source has revealed a fascinating source of tension between Queen Camilla and Princess Anne, which may have stemmed from Camilla's first marriage. Anne had a brief romance with Andrew Parker Bowles, who later married Camilla Shand. The romance took place in the early 1970s. Anne's brother, Charles III, married Camilla a second time, in an ironic twist. Even before Camilla and Anne became members of the royal family, they had developed an instant friendship. When Princess Anne was just 19, she dated Andrew Parker Bowles, a soldier in the British Army. The date took place in June 1970. This date is notable because, at the time, Parker Bowles was just a lovely young man. However, he was already married to Camilla Shand, who later became known as Camilla Parker Bowles. According to Sally Bedell Smith, author of Prince Charles, The Passions and Paradoxes of an Improbable Life, Parker Bowles and Camilla Shand had a relationship that began in the late 1960s, several years before he and Anne started dating. This information was provided by Smith. Smith notes that the relationship between Parker Bowles and Camilla was often turbulent and full of ups and downs. This suggests that there was a possibility of a love triangle between Parker Bowles, Camilla, and Anne. Penny Junor, a biographer, offers a different perspective on Camilla's relationship with Charles. Although Junor claims that Camilla truly loved Andrew, he was unfaithful to her and also pursued other women, most notably Princess Anne. Camilla, who was unhappy with Andrew's activities, saw an opportunity when she met Charles, then the Prince of Wales. According to Junor, Camilla's relationship with Charles was not just about love. It was also about proving to Andrew that she was capable of attracting an important and famous person. So why did things suddenly change? What was the reason behind Princess Anne's ascension to the throne and replacing Camilla? Stay tuned to find out. Implication of King Charles III's announcement. King Charles III's announcement would turn the tables. The nature of the British royal family, a group with a long history, rich traditions, and even fierce sibling rivalry, is essential to understanding the decision. His illustrious father, King Charles III, has been in the spotlight for quite some time. However, Princess Anne, his younger sister, has been working hard behind the scenes, cementing her position within the family. A trusted member of the royal family, Princess Anne is known for her outspokenness and unwavering devotion to her duties as a princess. Even though her achievements have been overshadowed by those of her more famous relatives, her unwavering dedication and work ethic cannot be ignored. As far as anyone can see, Princess Anne is in for a shocking public debut. There was a palpable sense of anticipation as the world waited for the monarch to utter the words that would change the course of its existence. According to Charles, it seemed like a new day had begun. I was overjoyed to announce that my sister, Princess Anne, was the queen of our kingdom. There was a gasp in the room, followed by a murmur of surprise and disbelief. What has brought us to this surprising turn of events? More importantly for Queen Camilla and the future of the monarchy, what does this choice mean? Recent reports have suggested that King Charles has spent the past several months assessing the monarchy. It seems the king believes the monarchy needs a new face to thrive in today's society, despite Camilla's stellar record as queen since marrying Charles in 2005. Perhaps Charles sees in Princess Anne the kind of modern royal figurehead, down-to-earth and completely committed to her duties, that is essential to the survival and relevance of the monarchy in today's times. This is not simply a personal decision. It shows that the monarchy is willing to change its approach to public engagement and adapt to modern circumstances. As news of this royal change spread, responses poured in from all over the world. As expected, social media went crazy after the news. Fans and royal lovers took to social media to express their joy at Princess Anne's new title, using hashtags like #QueenAnne and #CrowningMoment. After much speculation, Anne has finally found a queen who is willing to step in and get things done, according to a popular tweet praising her long history of service to the royal family. The princess's strong work ethic has always been admired by her admirers, and this new development further cements her status as a dedicated member of the royal family. How have people reacted to the change? Read on to find out. The announcement, made by King Charles III, has been met with mixed reactions. However, not everyone is happy with the change. Many have questioned whether Princess Anne has the charisma to be the face of the monarchy. Some doubters wonder if she can connect with Britons, the way Camilla did, all those years ago. Someone asked, can Princess Anne connect with the public like Camilla does? About the general inquiry about the ideal traits of a contemporary monarch. There may be a turning point for the royal family with Princess Anne assuming this role. Some believe that the public's view of the monarchy will change when Anne takes the reins from Camilla, who is more prominent but less noticeable. The real test will be whether Princess Anne can successfully represent the royal family without compromising the genuine character that has won her so much admiration. The monarchy's continued existence in this dynamic environment will depend on how well it adapts to modern values without sacrificing its rich heritage. Crowning Princess Anne is a momentous occasion on many levels. As it faces the problems of the modern day, it signifies a major shift in the monarchy's identity. The monarchy may need Anne's forthright attitude and dedication to her responsibilities to remain relevant in an era where public personalities are constantly scrutinized and institutions must change to prosper. At a time when many in modern Britain are beginning to doubt the monarchy's relevance, she ascends to the throne. As the country goes through a whirlwind of social and political changes, the royal family has to figure out how to keep in contact with the people they're meant to be serving. The coronation of Princess Anne by King Charles may herald a new age for the royal family, defined by pragmatism, devotion, and hard effort, according to certain interpretations. Have you any opinions on Princess Anne's sudden accession to the throne? Is she the best person to lead the monarchy into the future? Or do you believe Camilla should have stayed queen? Please inform us by leaving a comment below. For tuning into this video, I am grateful. Hopefully, you were captivated by it. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. To see the latest celebrity news, just click the video that appears on your screen. We will meet there.